Hello everybody, a very good morning to you all and welcome back to a brand new week in the markets and a brand new live stream here at Taurex and Atmos. Hope everyone's had a good weekend and is ready for a brand new week of opportunities, and it's a big week as well. We've got lots to get through today in terms of market events. It's actually been for the first time really over the last, since I can remember, since I moved out here, it's been a fairly quiet weekend. There's not been too much we need to worry about in terms of shock events or anything like that. So it's been a fairly typical Monday start, which actually has not been typical of 2025. It's normally been gaps everywhere in the markets, but we haven't seen that, which is a good thing. I'm happy with that, so we can actually dive into the events as they are, and hopefully we get a really nice clean week of price action. So as always, this is if anyone has any questions or any particular markets that they're looking at this week, then feel free to drop it in the chat section, and I'll be more than happy to go through those and any of the time frames that you're looking at as well. I can analyse that for you. Good to see you, Osama, on the YouTube channel. Very good morning to you, and I hope you're doing well. We've also got some people live on the Discord channel, of course. Dibble, hello to you. Good morning. Good morning to you, Lara, and good morning to you, Kirkton. It's good to see you all. Thank you for tuning in on this Monday morning. I wasn't great last week. I do apologise. I wasn't very well, and this week I'm back. I'm back with more sugar, Lara. Sugar chart, really? Okay. I cannot say, yeah, okay, I'm a market analyst, but I can't say I've ever traded sugar before. Are you trading that? Futures, I imagine, right? That's crazy. Yeah. Good stuff. Okay, yeah, right. So we've had some requests coming through already. We've got gold, we've got dollar CAD, we've got AUD. You want me to have a look at the sugar chart? I will do that. That's a request I've not had before, which is brilliant. I suppose it's different. I suppose so. Yeah, let's quickly start with, for me, what was a quiet week last week because I wasn't around as much as I usually am. But obviously I'm back today. But in terms of live trades that I've got open at the moment, if I just take you over to the charts, I am still live. It's been a very, I've only placed, this is the third trade I've placed this month, so this I've not really been active. I missed the dollar downside. I didn't sell the stock market, and I didn't buy gold. So other than that, it's been if you didn't do any of those this month so far, then you'd be having a bit of a tough slog. And I'm having a tough slog at the moment on euro yen, which is, to be fair, it's trading in a decent amount of profit now. If I actually draw so I'm trading at 2 to 1, place 2% risk on that. So I'm now risk free. Actually, no, sorry, this is a trend rider trade, isn't it? So I'm just following an indicator which is going to give me an exit criteria. But all you need to know at the moment is I'm still very much in this trade on euro yen. And my trading journal looks exactly the same as it did before, which is basically 2 trades on the, as you can see, dollar strength, which didn't work out, and my long trade on euro yen. So pretty much break even when you add the floating profits at the moment. I'm pretty much break even. Well, I am break even for March. So it's been a weird month for me. But we had a fantastic January, and I had a 1% gain in February as well. So even if this month turned into a losing month, that's completely normal. It would still be 9% profit across 3 months of trading, which I would say is not too bad. Okay, right. Let's start. Before I look at the actual markets itself, I think it's important to make sure we're up to date on what we've got coming out this week in terms of economic events and what they could mean and what sort of markets will be impacted as a result of that. And then I'll move on to the requests that I've had. I'm not sure if I've had any more. Let me check Discord. No, okay. And just before I do that, sorry, we are releasing the winners of our final lot of giveaways over on the Atmos Discord channel. So we've given away in total 1 million in account challenges. So this is I believe this might be the final draw. So the biggest prizes are going to be released today. So good luck to those who have entered into the competition. I know there's a few of you that have. So yeah, I hope it works out for you. Osama is excited for the giveaway too. Nice. Yeah, should be good. Should be good. I'm not sure what time they're released. I'm not in charge of that, unfortunately. But I may be in the future when we do, when I'm sorting out the stream in a bit in a bit more of a schedule. I'm going to schedule them all on YouTube. Maybe if I do like a special NFP stream or something, we can look at doing some giveaways on the streams. We'll see. I'll look into it for you. Right. Okay. So in terms of news events for Monday, we're on Monday at the moment here. So we've actually got retail sales coming out of the US, which is going to give us an indication of the NFP stream will be lit. Yeah, I've done it before. The problem is with the NFP stream is that NFP is at 5:30 p.m. for me. So Friday, 5:30 p.m. So I'd have to be in the office, which I normally am for my recording content days. So maybe we'll look at doing that, and I'll stay late for that Friday, and then off to the pub straight after that, I suppose. Retail sales out of the US, we're going to get an indication of the strength of the consumer in the US. So the stock market's had a steady open, I would say. It's a little bit down, I think. It had a steady recovery at the end of last week. If we see weak retail sales, the previous was minus 0.8%. You can see that there. The forecast this time around is for 0.7%. So if we see retail sales stronger, that's going to sort of, I think the stock market will like that. And I think if we see retail sales which are weaker, that basically is telling us that the amount of retail products being purchased by US consumers is falling, and recession fears could creep back into the markets depending on how weak it is. So that's a fairly important one, especially for a Monday. It's not bad. As we head into Tuesday, we've got not much really. Tomorrow is not too. Just let me check the this week. Let me check just when. Okay, so that's overnight. Okay, so yeah, so I believe we're going to get the Bank of Japan as well, but that comes on Wednesday. Yeah, it does here. So it's a week really of central banks. Wednesday's a massive day because we've got the Bank of Japan and the Fed, two massive banks, and two banks which are under probably the most scrutiny. Obviously the Fed, because it's the Fed and everything that's going on with the Trump tariffs, and Powell's going to get bombarded with questions about Trump tariffs and what that means for the Fed and what they're going to do, and he's probably going to play it down. He's probably not going to have too much of a say on it, and he's probably going to. My concern with the Fed on Wednesday is that I'm not sure how Powell can calm things down, because if he comes out more dovish in nature and he talks about interest rate cuts, unless he gets that message really right, as in why they're doing interest rate cuts, the markets might treat it as, oh no, they're cutting because there's a slowdown coming, and the markets won't like that, right? They're not going to cut, by the way. They're going to hold rates. I'm talking about what they're going to say for the future. That's what's really important. That's what really drives markets, right? So the forward guidance that's used after that. So my concern is that I think that the markets are going to treat what he says as with concern, sort of thing. So I'm not sure how he's going to navigate that. So it makes it a really fascinating statement and a really fascinating press conference. I wonder how, if anything to do with tariffs and geopolitical tensions and trade wars, whether that's going to be used in the Fed statement. I think the best thing that Powell could do is basically turn around and say, look, inflation is our primary goal, and we're still far away from seeing inflation falling. The economy remains strong. If he delivers that sort of message with confidence, then I think that could provide a relief to the stock market. But anything else, and I think we could be in for some more downside. And obviously the Bank of Japan as well. We're not expecting the Bank of Japan to hike rates because of what's going on globally. But if they indicate, yeah, if they hint basically, at more or at future interest rate hikes in the future, at future meetings, and that could be treated as hawkish. That's Japanese yen strength. So dollar yen's just a great market. So we'll have a look at dollar yen. I've just had a question come through. If the Fed hold rates, will it make dollar yen chart bullish, or does it need to be a hike rate for that to happen? The Fed aren't going to hike, Lara. They won't hike. It's just not going to happen, right? So we can rule that one out. What you're saying there is if the Fed holds rates, which is what's basically going to happen, I can actually give you the percentage chance of these things. If you go onto the CME Fed Watch tool, look at this. You basically get a percentage of, look. So this is the current interest rate we're in, between 4.25 and 4.5, yeah? We've got a 99% chance of an interest rate hold, right? So that's pretty much priced in, and a 1% chance of a cut. There's no chance of a hike in this situation. But what is interesting is when we start to see the next meeting in May, 27% chance of a cut, and as we get into June, you can see that the markets are pretty much pricing in the fact that we're going to at least see interest rates probably around one cut from now, at least, in the June meeting, and then you've got July, and you can basically use this to determine how much interest rate cuts are the markets priced in. This is December, so the favoured interest rate level by the end of the year, let's say it's 3.5 to 3.75%, and if you see at the bottom here, we're currently in the 4.25 to 4.5%. So the markets are pricing in 4 interest rate cuts. It's quite a lot. Why are they pricing those interest rate cuts? Because of an economic slowdown. This isn't a good thing. You'd be surprised. Normally this is meant to be a good thing. That's why Powell's got a really difficult task, because he needs to try and hint at cuts, but not in a situation where we're cutting because the economy is crashing, because that's what will cause the fall in the stock market, the fall in the dollar, etc. If he comes out and he's quite bullish in terms, and he's quite hawkish, and he's like, the markets are, the economy's fine, inflation is still too high, and they hold rates lower, like you're saying, what we are start to see is interest rate cuts being priced out of the markets, and that will cause a relief in the US dollar. So I think there's a situation where we could see dollar yen higher. And my analysis at the moment still remains from the fact that, okay, we've not really had, massive amount of evidence. We had some bullish divergence there. We had an initial surge higher, and then we created a higher low. We haven't actually broken any market structure. So I'm really looking out for maybe before the Fed or after the Fed. We'll see. It's something that basically looks like that. So I believe that the Powell will be hawkish, and I don't know how hawkish he's going to be. I haven't got a crystal ball, but if I had to put my neck on the line, I would say this could be a good week for dollar reversals. That's what I'm going to say. So when you look at the markets that you're looking at, Osama, with AED USD, USD CAD, I mean USD yen, this is the play for me. If we get it this week, great. If we don't, it's fine. But if we see a more hawkish Fed, and he basically dismisses the possibility of recession, etc., and plays that hawkish tone like he has been, because why would he change his tone now? Because that's going to cause panic. So I think he's going to keep his tone as it is, and I believe that may cause a rally in dollar yen, especially if the Bank of Japan hold rates when we were looking at interest rate hikes. You could see this. Okay, just checking I didn't have any other questions. Okay, good. Was it AD USD CAD? USD CAD is not a good market, Osama, right now, because you can see we're just trading back in the middle of this range. So, I mean, I think I marked this last week. You can see we took out the top side of this whole range, and the bottom side of this whole range, and then you can see that from there we basically rotated back into the middle of it. So. Yes, sure. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. Yeah, no problem. I'll bring it over onto the big screen. So for me, dollar CAD is not the best dollar pair to take a look at, just from what I'm seeing right now. Um, my what I would suggest is maybe if we get into, if we in really simple terms, if we get into any of these areas, we could look to basically play the rotation back into the middle. But at the moment, I think there's other markets which are a lot stronger. I want to look at your AD USD one as well. Um, okay. We're actually at quite a big monthly support. Can you see that? This is the monthly chart. So I like the dollar strength against the Japanese yen, but if we're talking about dollar weakness, then look at the Australian dollar, because look at that. That is massive monthly support. Like, as we're talking, like that goes back to 1986, 1986, 93, 97, 2009, and 2020, and even here as well, 2022, 23. Look how much this has been support previously. So it wouldn't surprise me if we actually saw a tick up higher. I mean, this is a monthly move. That could be a massive swing trade. So actually, AED USD looks like a good risk reward to try and trade it higher, at least probably up to, at least into the middle of this consolidation. I always say, look, try and play the rotation. You can see actually that if you look at what's happened here, we've taken out the top side, exactly the same as dollar CAD, what I just showed you. Top side, bottom side, rotation back to the middle. So I think there could be another 200-300 pip move higher in AED USD from that monthly support. And if you trade the trend rider like I do, you can see that we're just about to potentially get an opportunity. So what I want to see is, I basically want to see, let it go higher, then look for the retest of this blue line, which is this EMA 12. So we could be looking at an AED USD long. So dollar strength against the yen maybe this week, but if we see dollar weakness and we see the Fed is a bit more dovish, then I think we could be playing that against the Australian dollar, which is a good one. I'll take a look at gold as well. Let me just quickly drag over the trade ideas section. Here we go. Can you see that? What have we got here? This is dollar CAD. Is this on a 1 minute? Is that a 1 minute chart? Yeah. Is this a 1 minute chart? Dollar CAD. 1 minute, right? Okay, interesting. I mean, it's a risky one. I can't lie. What is it you're targeting? I don't mind the target, because actually, if you look, what's happened here? See how he broken out of this channel? There was a clear fake out there. And then look, there's the breakout and the retest. Okay, so what I like the idea. I like what you've done. For me, I would think about taking some money off the table quickly. Probably around where the break of this, if we can get up to around 43720, if we get another retest of that, that could be a good area where you could say, right. I mean, I would even think about, we're in a bit of profit now, right? Yeah, you must be. I'd think about now actually protecting your stop loss by putting it maybe below this low, because overall you can see how we've broken out down here. So this could be resistance, but I think that, well, you're moving nicely now. So nice one. Yeah, I think we could be coming up to this area where you could look to protect your profits, maybe move that stop loss to entry. That's what I would look to do if I was you. Especially on a 1 minute as well. I like to move my stop loss a bit more aggressively. Okay, Lara, sugar. Is this the sugar chart? How do you even trade it? It's here, right? This is the wrong one. This is some company, I think. Sugar. Here. Is this the sugar chart? Here, yeah, this one. I think it's this one. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't laugh because I know you. Okay. This looks good. Technical analysis, like in terms of price action, look at that. What's below this low? Liquidity. Everyone who bought sugar at these levels probably had their stop loss below this low, right? Because you can see we had a liquidity grab there, and then once that move became higher, this became the sell side liquidity. Look what happened. This is actually really clean. I love when you see that. And then let's break that down onto the daily. You can see breakout higher. What's created here? Higher low. We've started to tick higher as well. I like this. You don't quite get one-to-one at that high. But look. 3.5 to 1. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's a sort of a swing play, if you like. Imagine it's a difficult market on the lower time frames. I'm not sure. I've not seen how it moves, or but in terms of a solid, daily sort of swing trade ish, I think that's really nice. It's got its own nature. I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine. That looks cool though. Use that as you will, if you like. I've not traded it before, so I don't know, but it still looks pretty good. And that's a request I've never had before. Sugar, I like it. Good stuff. Yeah, sure. Okay. And what is that season? What is that season with sugar? Is it now? Because if it is, that's a good opportunity. Okay, let's have a quick look at stocks. Stock market, stock market, stock market. Okay, look what happened with the US 30. Quite a clean break, right? Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I thought it might be with sugar because I imagine it's an all weather, all seasons sort of thing. But no, cool. Okay, I mean it's quite clear really that if we look at the stock market, this is daily. That if you look down on it, you can't argue with the fact that we've seen break lower. The technicals would suggest more downside to come. Right, it's a bit of a slide. The problem is that it also wouldn't surprise me now if this is a week where we see, and it's up to you if you want to play this on the counter trend. I've got to say I am tempted. I think it doesn't look great in the medium term. I mean, there are examples where we've broken down below the 200-day moving average and then we haven't, and then we've just sort of, recovered straight away. But I can't find a time that we traded below the 200-day moving average this much and didn't see, a steeper drop. So when you look at that, this is COVID, that's 2018, that's 2022. Maybe this is an example, but we're further below it than we were there in 23. So this is bearish, right? I hate to say it, but this is bearish. Yeah, insider, yeah. This is bearish. But what I would want to do if I was looking to sell is I think this could be a week maybe where we had a good candle on Friday. It's going to be like that. It's a very difficult, asset to sell. But what we could see is a move basically back up to this 200-day moving average, where I think is where we'll then see the next leg lower. If it's going to happen, it will be from there. And I think you can say the same about the Nasdaq, right? Look at that, even bigger break below. Do we get an aggressive pullback right up towards it? And then how we react from there is massive, absolutely massive. And the US 30 now, again, what did I say about having all three indices below its 200-day moving average? It's a sign of weakness, of course, but when you've got all of them moving in that direction, that's when, for me, that's when I'm on the highest alert in terms of deeper corrections. So it wouldn't surprise me if we sort of consolidate around here. We even maybe have a bit of a bounce, but be very careful because we've just broken below such a big level on all three indices now. I think we could be seeing some more downside. So if you are going to play if you are going to buy the dip, please have that level in mind for the future, for your take profits and stuff, because I think it's a big level. We may come and have some sort of V-shaped recovery and go, straight. That's why I find it a difficult sell. What I want to see from a personal perspective is I want to see that, and that's where I buy. So there'll be loads of people trying to buy it right now. It's been a crash, right? 10% plus. But for me, what I want to see is another flush out lower first before I look to actually buy this. And the DAX, Curtin, yes, of course. The DAX, right. Look, the DAX is the European indices are slightly different. The reason why, Lana, is because we've seen in the past how that once you break below that 200-day moving average, you can see a retest of it, right? And then when you see the retest of it, that's when you get the next leg lower, and then it's normally that next leg lower, that next move. That's when you could maybe risk a buy the dip opportunity. The DAX, Curtin, is looking good. It's holding around these highs, okay. You can see that we had a bit of a fake out really of this here, and then it acted as support again. So for me, if you're going to buy stocks at the moment, Europe seems to be where everyone's going, so that's where we should go. So I'd like more European stock upside potential. Risk reward isn't great at the moment, but if you do manage to get in on a lower time frame, there's no fair value gap today, I don't think. But look, something like this, you know how quick the DAX moves. Maybe something like this, Curtin. That could be something we could look for, because you've got that trend line support and you've also got the demand zone as well. So save that chart. Okay, Right. I didn't even get through the rest of the economic calendar, so I'll do it really quickly. It's been a longer stream, which is good. We've also got on Thursday the Swiss National Bank and the Bank of England, not as big as the Bank of Japan and the Federal Reserve, but big in its own right. So yeah, we're going to cover all these events like as on the days as they come out, of course. But yeah, looking for another cut by the Swiss National Bank down to 0.25%. The Bank of England projection is for rates to be held, but with the Bank of England, it's always important to see what this vote rate split is all about, because we want to see who's voting for cuts, who's voting for hikes, and what sort of pressure is being put on Andrew Bailey. So that's a big one as well. Can you tell? So Taurex, Osama, is the broker. So it's the broker which so you use Atmos, right? The funded prop firm. So that prop firm is owned by Taurex. It's broker backed by Taurex, which is the broker behind. So we have the MT5 connection and stuff, and how you'd actually trade on your trading account. And I don't own it. No, I'm just the market analyst. That's all. So the trading education manager. So I'm building an academy as well. In the background, I'm building some courses for people who are looking to get involved. So yeah, and they're regulated. We're regulated across multiple entities. FCA in the UK, we're regulated as well. So it's the broker basically. If you want to check out the website, the website's there. So that's why you'll see, Atmos by Taurex. That's why I've got the dual branded, because it's it's a dual branded thing. So Taurex is obviously the way you do your personal trading, and Atmos will be where you do your funded trading, and then you can transfer your. This is new in this industry. You can actually transfer your some of your profits from Atmos directly into a Taurex account, and then you get a 10% bonus on top as well. Good stuff. Nice. Okay. That was your week ahead analysis. So lots, as you saw, to get stuck into. I'll BUU 10%. So yeah, so if you transfer your profits over from Atmos into Taurex, you get a 10% buffer on top of that into your balance, and it's done instantly as well. It's pretty cool, because obviously the goal is to be funded, right? But then, the idea is to be funded, but then the goal should be you want to trade your own capital because you have no restrictions. So it should be that, okay, get funded, great, 100k or 70k, 50k, whatever, and the profits that you make from the funded part of it, you should really be trying to build up your own account to the level of which you had the funded, because you've got no restrictions then. Any timescale for offering funding to the UK? I haven't, unfortunately. It's not with me. All I can say is that as soon as we do have that option, I promise we will let you know straight away. I believe it's in the works. It's something that they're looking into. But unfortunately, at the moment, that's not something that we offer. Hopefully, that is something in the future. I don't have a time scale, but what I'll do is I'll sorry, I just hit the mic. I will message the team and see if there is any update on that, and I'll let you know. Okay, good stuff, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Thank you very much for the questions as well. I'll be live again tomorrow, even though it'll be a bit of a shorter session, but I'll be live to answer any more questions that you have. Until then, trade well, trade safe, and good luck this week, and I'll catch you all for tomorrow's stream. Thanks.